Hey there, Internet. Keeve here, and welcome to the Cars with Keeve YouTube channel. And I'm smiling from ear to ear, and you know why. We have the Big Boi, the Washr Pro. That's going to be the first one we're doing. I have the Duo from them as well, sitting in a box right over here. That'll be the next video. I might drop them back to back. Then the Active 2.3, I just confirmed. It should be here within 3 to 4 days. Big Boi isn't new, and these products aren't new. They've been out for a while in Australia and other countries, but they finally made it to the US. They will have, they said, a 17 amp model that will come out later this year, but they wanted to launch the 15 amp, obviously because in American households, the majority of them are all 15 amp. This thing right here is massive. It is heavy. They say it weighs 55 pounds. I think they're being a little generous there. I think it's more than that. Well, we'll put it on the scale if it fits on the scale. I mean, look how big this thing is. Now on the box it says Italian designed and made in China. Now I don't know if they designed it or they're just using a pump from Italy, because the triplex pump could be AR. I don't know. Now with the triplex pump, it's going to be completely rebuildable, like O-ring seals, the valves, completely serviceable, oil and all that kind of stuff. And also they last a lot longer. We have an unloader valve here. Obviously, we'll go to max and min. Already comes with the 3/8 quick disconnect on here. And down at the bottom, though, it comes with a quick disconnect male end for a water hose, but no female end for the hose. So how am I going to pop that on? I'm going to take this off and then hook my hose up my own way. The power unit here, the pump is really compact. It doesn't stick way out. The pressure switch is just kind of like tucked in. This motor is massive. I don't even know if it's going to fit on my shelf, but on this base plate here, there's 2 sets of holes to where you can mount it in 2 separate areas, so you could overhang the edges of a shelf. And the cool thing about the base here is they're not suction cups, but they sit like suction cups. So I think that's going to help with vibration. These feet are really nice. Just like the AR630, you have an oil filler cap up here, and when you first get it, change this red cap. This one goes out, and then the black one they give you goes in. It has a pressure relief hole at the top so it can breathe. Has an oil fill window on the side here, really well labeled, way better than the AR630. You have on the back, you have all of your nozzle attachments on the back. They have grommets back here. All of these are 3.5s. It's already tuned for you, kind of like what Active does. They say they're basically giving you the best working cleaning units, they call it. It's 1200 psi at 1.92 GPM. Comes with a foam cannon, the Big Boi foam cannon right here. We'll check that here in a minute to make sure the orifice level is good. No 360, but it does have your stream to your widespread fan. The top is the nicer top that doesn't hurt your hand. You got the quick to connect on the back, big neck, no weighted ball. The straw is somewhat flexible. Maybe we'll just have to drop test this. Now it is past QC quality testing based off this tag on here. And then obviously for the oil, you can use 1030 or you can use 1540. I guess it really depends on your climate. The warmer it is, if it's over 80 degrees, you might want to work up to a little bit slightly heavier weight. Non-detergent is 500 milliliters. There's a drain plug on the back here, just like the AR630, kind of on the side. Now, one good thing and bad thing is it's got a 15-foot electrical cable. So if you have this on a wall mount setup, that's pretty good because it's not as much to try to hide, and you may not have to cut this to get it to work perfectly with your setup. But bad for those of you who are going to move this around, and I don't know why you would want to lug this around unless it was on a wash cart. But if you are going to use an extension cord with this, make sure you're using a 12-gauge extension cord with 3 prongs. Now, one big thing about this unit is not just that it's an induction motor, it's a 4-pole induction motor, which means way less RPMs to get the same power output of some other ones. The Active 2.3, the Washr Duo, AR630, they're all 2-pole motors. The 4-pole is going to be quieter. They say it's less than 80 dB. This is a start-stop system, so it's not going to run like some of the other units that are out there that have these massive motors on them. So you'll have that stop and start. Now this comes with nothing else other than a foam cannon. They don't come with a gun, a hose, or none of that stuff, which is fine because when you're at this level, you might likely already have your own stuff or you have stuff on the way. They sell a kit that they say is built and whatever for this. I looked at it. I don't like anything about it. The gun is bulky and big. The hose is very glossy, so I don't know what kind of jacket it is. I just feel like going with an SGS 28, going with a Blue Shield Kevlar hose, or a gray non-marking hose, or a Cobra Jet, or something like that is going to be what you're going to want. I would not suggest an Uberflex hose. An Uberflex hose is probably going to work, but I've not had issues, but I've had devices, an Active 2.0, AR630. They perform slightly different with the Uberflex hose. The ramp up and ramp down is slightly more, and I just feel like it doesn't sound as good. The 3/8 hose seems like it just sounds better and performs better. Now, right now it's $629.99, and it's still available on the website as a pre-order. I guess the stuff is in a container, or maybe the container that arrived isn't sold out yet, but like I said, it's $629.99, a 10% off birthday sale that they're having. It's normally $699, and shipping, at least to me, is $65. And literally the warehouse is in the same city I live in. That's how I got this so quickly. I think I'll have the first video out on this and probably the Duo as well. I have a link in the description below for the unit. They're only available currently from Big Boi, nobody else. Maybe at some point they'll be available on Amazon. I heard Josh V said they may be available for sale on his site at some point. But don't forget to check out the links below for anything else in the video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Let's get to testing. It's so freaking big that it didn't even fit on my scale to be able to weigh it. I put 2 boards on here, teared them out. It weighs 59.28 pounds, so 60 pounds. Let's check the orifice that this thing has. It does have the O-ringed quick disconnect. I had to use the wrench to get it off, but once you put it back on, you should be able to just hand tight this. You won't need the tool. So this is exactly what they said it is. They said it's a 115 orifice, and this is literally 115. That's a pretty low orifice size for such a powerful unit, but it being the 4-pole and the lower RPM, it may not need, you know, all that power and that amperage to be able to put out the foam. All right, we got everything hooked up. Here's our first PSI test. Unloader valve as far as we can get it. So the stock 3.5 was 1,050 PSI, so not quite the 1,200 that they stated. Let's change out, let's move up to a 4.0. It's 1,010 PSI. 4.5. About 850. That made a drastic difference from a 3.5 to a 4. It was only 50 PSI difference, but we go from a 4 to a 4.5 was 100 PSI difference. So gallons per minute testing, really easy. Empty bucket, tear it out to 0 on the scale. We'll run for 1 minute, and then we will see how many gallons in there. We'll convert the pounds to gallons. Now, since this has about a 1 second ramp up, we'll let go about a ½ second after 1 minute to make up for that difference in flow. So this is the stock 3.5. So weighed out at 15.3, which comes out to 1.833 gallons per minute. Now, less than they stated that they tuned it to at 1,200 PSI, 1.92 gallons per minute. But still, a really good number for running a 3.5. So let's move up to a 4.0 and see what those numbers get us. We're tearing out to 0, 4.0. 16.64 pounds comes out to 1.99 gallons per minute. So with the 4.0, we're able to max out and get more than their stated 1.92. Really good performance here, and we still have another nozzle to go up. All right, we're zeroed out. Here's the 4.5. 17.26 pounds comes out to 2.07 gallons per minute on a 15 amp machine. Not just that, but on the 3.5 stock, it was only 13.25 amps. On the 4.0, it was like 12.8 amps. On the 4.5, it was 11.8 amps. And that's really good for you mobile detailers that are running generators. You're going to be able to run really good numbers, but not stress out your generator, and also maybe save a little bit of fuel. All right, you got to bear with me. I'm having a rough day filming this video. I forgot to hit record. I'd already done the foaming and I already done the drop test. First drop from shoulder level with full crack at the bottom, did not leak yet. Second drop, shattered to pieces. I'll show you that here in a minute. I can't break this one because I need this for the Washer Duo video that I'm doing after this one. So if you want to see the breakage of this, The next video will be of that, and I'll drop this, and I'm pretty sure it's going to break. This is a 1.15. This is 1 ounce of incredible suds up to the 1,000 milliliter mark. Cars with Key will save you 10% at their website, just in a really good cleaning soap and really foamy. Great foam. We were expecting at 1.15 on a machine like this, but the difference is with that 4-pole motor, we were able to get that with a 1.15 at 13 amps. So we are nowhere near that territory of 15 amps to say an active 2.0 with even a 1.25 orifice is claiming close to 15 amps. So way low on the numbers, really good. Now let me show you that cracked foam cannon. Like I said, I apologize, I didn't get it on film, but busted to pieces. The clear plastic bottles just are not durable at all. Like I said, cracked on the bottom first drop this high with all that liquid in there, and second drop it just all my soap gone. Here's the rinse pattern at a 40 degree 3.5. Really good. 40 degree evacuates the soap rather quickly. Let's try the 4.0. That's going to look slightly different because this is a 25 degrees, so we're concentrating it. And the reason I do that is normally when I'm in the 900 psi range, I prefer a 25 degree. I can still stand back the same distance, but get a slightly smaller fan. I just think it cleans a little bit better and it's not going to be dangerous. If I'm over 1,000 psi, I'll stick with the 40 degree. Both have great uniform fans. Everything works the way you expected. Well, that's the Big Boi Washr Pro. Is it overhyped? I don't think so. It does really, really well, and it's not even trying. I think the 17 amp model that's going to come out down the road is going to have the exact same motor, exact same pump. I think they're going to charge 50 to 100 bucks extra to change out the power unit to handle 17 amps. And I think it's going to perform big time. The AR630 stays because it does 2.2 gallons per minute on that 4.5 orifice, and I have a 20 amp dedicated outlet. But for those of you looking for high performance and you don't want to pay for a Krenzla, 15 amps, this bad boy right here doesn't even run 13 amps barely, and it gets 2.07 gallons per minute, 850 psi, 950 psi, it gets 1.99 gallons per minute. Just amazing numbers. And for you detailers, this thing, like I said, is barely working. It's going to last a long time. 2-year warranty, 10-year pump warranty. For you homeowners, though, I wonder if the Washr Duo might be more for you, or the Active 2.3. Those reviews will be coming out soon. Those are slightly cheaper, but they will perform very well as well. So don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Check out the links below for anything in the video, and I'll see you in the next video. Just like the AR630, you have an oil filler cap. Blah, 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 blah. I just think it's overall, it's massive. Over here on the side, you do have cable management. Stop it! Which is one thing I don't like. I don't like the power cable. One thing I stop. But there'll be any. I swear, how many times I have to redo this stuff because I keep forgetting to empty this. Then you drop your phone. Ah! You had to keep sneaking a peek at stuff. Oh my gosh, I'm totally freaking soaked. Now since this has about a sec. Now since this has a, oh my gosh. Now since this has about a, oh my gosh. 4.0.